Ever wondered if octopuses could form an undersea orchestra? Well, you are not alone. These eight-armed maestros of the deep are renowned for their spectacular intelligence and knack for problem-solving. Now, imagine an octopus, let's call him Octavius, jamming on a saxophone. Yes, a saxophone! With their highly flexible limbs and incredible dexterity, they could possibly pull off a tune or two. But here's the catch. Our musical instruments aren't exactly designed to be waterproof, are they? And the physics of sound underwater adds another layer of complexity. So while we might not be seeing Octavius and his band rocking out a concert under the sea anytime soon, it's a testament to the octopus's remarkable adaptability and intelligence. So while our octopus friends might not be ready for their underwater concert debut, they surely won't be outsmarted easily. What if the Earth just decided to take a quick break and stop spinning? Sounds like the ultimate cliffhanger, doesn't it? Now imagine this. One moment you're sipping on your morning coffee, the next, you're hurtling through the air at over 1,000 miles per hour. That's the speed at which the Earth rotates. If it suddenly stopped, we wouldn't. Inertia would keep us moving, and boy, would that be a wild ride. Picture this. Skyscrapers toppling like dominoes, oceans sloshing out of their basins, creating mega tsunamis. And let's not forget about the sudden shift in gravity. You'd feel a tad lighter, but don't get too excited. It's not the new weight loss plan you've been looking for. And the day-night cycle? More like a half-year cycle. One side of Earth would be scorched by 6 months of continuous daylight, while the other side froze in 6 months of darkness. So let's just hope Earth doesn't decide to take a sudden break anytime soon. Ever thought about swapping your apartment for a coral castle under the sea? Picture this. You wake up to the sight of colorful fish swimming past your window. Your morning commute? A leisurely swim through a garden of seaweed and coral. But wait, how would you order your favorite pizza? And oh, what about the oxygen supply? Living underwater, while sounding like an adventurous proposition, comes with its share of challenges. For starters, you'd need to figure out a way to breathe underwater. Maybe develop some gill-like apparatus. And let's not forget about communication. Texting underwater could be a real pain with all that water pressure. And then there's the question of neighbors. Sure, it might be fun to have a dolphin for a neighbor, but what about the not-so-friendly creatures of the deep, like sharks or giant squid? Living under the sea might not be as glamorous as Ariel made it seem, but it sure does make for an interesting thought. How many balloons would it take to lift a house? And no, we're not planning a real-life Up sequel. Now let's dive into the science behind this whimsical idea. If we were to lift an average-sized house, we'd need roughly a few 100,000 helium-filled balloons. That's a lot of balloons, enough to block out the sun in a small town. But as exciting as it sounds, we can't overlook the potential problems. First, there's the weather. A gust of wind could send your airborne home on an unplanned tour, not to mention the havoc it could wreak during a storm. Then there's air traffic. Imagine trying to explain to an air traffic controller that your house is blocking the runway. And let's not forget about the helium shortage the world is facing. We might have to save it for something a little more essential than lifting houses. So, while it might be a fun idea, it seems we're better off keeping our houses firmly on the ground. Ever wished you had a tail? You might want to think twice about that. Imagine waking up one day to find a long, furry appendage sticking out from your lower back. Quite the shocker, right? Now, some of you might think, hey, a tail could be handy. It's an extra limb for multitasking, and it could even help with balance. But let's delve into the practicalities. Picture yourself trying to put on your favorite pair of jeans only to realize there's no tail hole. Fashion designers would have to rethink their entire approach, and tailor-made would take on a whole new meaning. And what about sitting down? Chairs, couches, car seats, they'd all need a redesign. But it's not all doom and gloom. A tail could offer a new form of self-expression. Imagine tail tattoos or tail jewelry becoming the latest trend. Tails might be great for balance and expression, but they could also make sitting on chairs a whole lot trickier. How about we build a giant mirror in space to eliminate the need for artificial lighting? Sounds like a bright idea, right? Just imagine it. A colossal mirror hanging out in space, bouncing sunlight back to us day and night. No more energy bills, no more burnout bulbs, just one giant shiny solution. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's a tiny problem. Space isn't exactly a tidy place. It's full of debris, old satellites, and cosmic dust. Our mirror would need a constant cleanup crew just to keep it shiny. And speaking of keeping things shiny, how would we even build such a behemoth? We're talking about a structure larger than any we've ever attempted. The logistics alone would be astronomical. Plus, imagine the sunburns. We'd have to invent a new sunscreen, SPF 1 million perhaps. So while the idea might shine bright, it seems we're stuck with our good old light bulbs for now. Oh, what if cats could talk? Would they finally tell us who's a good boy? Imagine a world where our feline companions were capable of conversation. Picture yourself walking into your home only to be greeted by your cat saying, "Finally, you're back. The red dot has been taunting me all day." Knowing cats and their notorious attitudes, they'd probably have a thing or two to say about our choice of decor. Perhaps something along the lines of, "I've seen better scratching posts in the bargain bin." And let's not forget their culinary critiques. Tuna again? How about a little variety, human? Imagine having a philosophical discussion with your cat about the concept of time or the meaning of life, only for them to respond, "I don't know about all that, but I do know that it's time for my nap." As much as we'd love to have a chat with our feline friends, it might be best if some mysteries remain unsolved. What if we discovered a parallel universe and made contact? Would we finally have the ultimate pen pals? Imagine it, folks. One day, you're sorting through your mail and there it is. A letter from your parallel universe pen pal? It's a whole new level of long-distance friendship. Now let's delve into the realm of the hypothetical. In this parallel universe, maybe socks are considered a delicacy, or perhaps everyone communicates through interpretive dance. The cultural exchanges would be mind-boggling. You'd find yourself explaining why we don't usually eat our footwear and trying to make sense of their latest dance message. But oh, the excitement, the thrill of opening up a letter, not knowing what weird and wonderful insights it might contain. A glimpse into another world, another life, another you. Now don't rush off to the post office just yet. While we're still far from sending postcards to parallel universes, it's always fun to imagine the possibilities. Ever wish to turn invisible at will? Sounds like every introvert's dream. Imagine the possibilities. You could sneak into the cinema without a ticket or avoid awkward encounters with that chatty neighbor. But let's not forget the classic science fiction tales where invisibility often goes awry. Picture this. You're invisible and you stroll into a bakery, but you accidentally knock over a tray of pastries. Suddenly, floating donuts are causing a panic. Or consider the challenges of eating while invisible. Would food disappear as you chew? Or would there be a hovering, half-chewed burger for all to see? And then there's the issue of clothing. If clothes don't turn invisible with you, you're left with two options: strut around in your birthday suit or look like a walking laundry pile. Invisibility might seem like a cool trick, but with these predicaments in mind, it's clear that for now, we're better off visible. Ever thought of a roller coaster ride around the moon? Talk about a space adventure. Imagine strapping in for the long haul, zipping at unthinkable speeds. The kind of velocity where you can do a full loop around the moon before you've even finished your astronaut ice cream. But let's not forget about the roller coaster staples. The twists, the turns, the sudden drops. Only this time, there's no gravity to bring you back down. You're just spinning, tumbling, and free-falling through the void. Sounds exhilarating, right? Or maybe a tad nauseating for those prone to motion sickness. And then there's the safety aspect. What if you accidentally unfasten your seatbelt? You'd be a human satellite orbiting the moon forever. Now that's a chilling thought. So, as thrilling as it sounds, a moon roller coaster comes with its own set of challenges. While a moon roller coaster might be the ultimate thrill ride, it seems we're stuck with earthly amusement parks for now. Well, that was a wild ride through some crazy questions. We've dived deep with musical octopuses, paused the Earth's rotation, and even lived our best mermaid lives underwater. And who could forget the spectacle of lifting houses with balloons, or the prospect of humans swishing around with tails? We've also pondered the brilliance of a giant space mirror, imagined holding conversations with our feline friends, and dipped our toes into the thrilling unknown of parallel universes. Not to mention, we've contemplated the elusive art of invisibility and the astronomical adventure of a moon roller coaster. If you've enjoyed this roller coaster of a journey, Don't forget to click that subscribe button for more of these wild explorations. Got your own crazy question? Drop it in the comments. We're all about embracing the outlandish here, and we can't wait to dive into your brilliant curiosities. Remember, there's no such thing as a silly question, only silly answers. So keep those crazy questions coming, and we'll see you in the next video.